Welcome to Paint a Beautiful Picture. I am really excited about today's episode. Today's episode is about loving your life. I mean, just loving life. If you go, I don't think I've ever loved my life, let me tell you that when I was a young woman, I could probably have related to you perfectly. I'm not kidding you about that. So now that I'm older and I really love my life, I think I can be of some help to you. I want you to love your life, and I really want you to teach your child to love life. Now, if you've been abused, if you've been violently treated, if you've been assaulted and insulted, it's pretty challenging to love life. I acknowledge that to you. But let me tell you, as a very little kid, the things that I really liked to do: swing on a swing set and sing at the top of my lungs, go out into a meadow with my brother and catch butterflies, or hang out with my dad out in his wood shop and smell the smell of wood and hear the saw and hear the hammer and watch the sawdust fly and pull the nails out of a board, because that's the job that he frequently gave to us, because it was something that we could do that would keep us occupied and out of his hair. I just loved that time. I really loved my life when I was out in the garden with my dad and I could smell the fragrance of the earth and put my hands into the dirt and pull weeds and watch little caterpillars that my dad usually either killed or put into a certain kind of container and let us watch as they formed a cocoon, and we got to see them come out as a butterfly or a moth later. uh, the the process of watching plants grow and develop and picking the fruit, getting to eat a tomato while it was sun warmed and so fresh and the juice running down your face. I really loved parts of my life as a kid. I loved the baby rabbits when they were maybe 3 or 4 inches long, and especially you could put them right up against your skin under your shirt. They would nestle there up against the warmth of your skin, and they were so soft and they were so sweet. Oh my goodness, I really loved parts of life as a little kid. I loved parts of life as an adult. I loved my children. Oh my word, I really did. I am not so great with tiny babies. I mean, I realize that's a real human being, and I spent loads of time with them, and I talked to them, and I touched them. But once they had their feet under them and they could run and play and talk and really develop something of who they were, oh my goodness sakes, I loved life with my kids when they were little boys. We had so much fun, and we worked alongside of each other, and we did great and adventurous things. It was just a complete blast. I have most assuredly loved my life as I've gotten older. I've been privileged to serve people in a lot of countries, people in the dumps at the Philippines, to care for those little kids and make them a meal and feed them something, which was far preferable to the junk and the rotted stuff and the disgusting things they pulled out of the trash, to working in places in Afghanistan, working with really beautiful and strong, intelligent women there, as well as working alongside of people in the government to change laws and do things for the well being of women and children there, to teach children and young people in Burkina Faso in West Africa. I have just really loved so much of my life. I have great friends, really wonderful friends. I love that part of my life. I do have a vibrant, rich, awesome life, and I want you to do that too. I want you to love your life. I want you to pass that love for life on to your children. How does that happen? It's a really fair question. One, you have to acknowledge the true things that have happened in your life that hurt you, and you have to get healing for those things. Okay? I've seen patients who've had practically half their breast eaten away from a cancerous tumor. They were in total denial. By the time they finally brought themselves to the doctor for some help, there was no hope. They were going to die. So you have to acknowledge the truth of what happened and that it hurt so that you could go get help. You're not going to go get help if you don't think anything's wrong. And then go get some help, get some healing. It is really, truly possible. I really pray and I hope that as you're with me over and over, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, that some of that healing will happen just from our time together. But I'm telling you, you very well may go to a counselor who will help you heal. All right? So acknowledge your hurt, get some help, and heal. Then find out what actually makes life rich and full for you. It isn't the same thing. Some people love to work. I happen to be one of those people. Some people hate to work, they love to play. Okay, you got to work to make a living, so get the best possible job that you can, so you're getting joy and fulfillment out of your work and you're contributing something meaningful to someone else. But if that's not really what does it for you, do what does it for you as much as you can. If you love to ski, if you love to skateboard, if you love to roller skate, if you like to skydive or paradive, I don't care. But do what it takes so that you can love your life. That's up to you. If you have no clue what makes you love your life, you need to do some exploring. And you need to teach your child the necessity of exploration to learn to love life. Okay? I know people who love to run. I mean, love it. They feel better when they run than they feel any other time. Gives them this astounding high, which is hormonal, of course, and all those endorphins and serotonin running through their body. They can hardly miss a day of running. Otherwise, they feel lousy. They love running, and it makes their life so good. You learn what you do that makes you love your life, and you help your child explore things so that they can love their life. I don't know if that's listening to beautiful music or making beautiful music. That may be looking at and appreciating beautiful art, or it may be creating beautiful art. I don't know if that's writing or reading or riding a bike or doing daredevil things like Evel Knievel. That boy really lived a life. It was a dangerous, crazy, wild life, but he loved his life. Okay, I don't really care what it is as long as you find out what will allow you to love your life. Okay? And I want you to help your child discover the joy of a great, vibrant, rich, full, enthusiastic life. Okay? Your child's love of life may not look anything like yours. And that's why you have to expose them to all the things that you can so that they have an opportunity to really love their life too. I've already told you, I don't really love math. I'm pretty good at it now. I was lousy at it when I was younger, but I don't love it. I have a son who loves math. I mean, loves math, deals with money and the manipulation of figures, and that's awesome. And I'm so glad for him. It's part of what he loves about his life. That's amazing. I have no problems with that. Okay. And I exposed him to a lot of things, so he found that out. He got to develop that part of himself and that part of his life. You have to let your child go after things or look at things that you might not even like or you might not even have any interest in order that he or she might grow up and really love their life. Another aspect of teaching your child to love their life is you need to teach them to love the parts that are a challenge. Okay. I actually love a good challenge. I love the challenge of going into a place that I don't know anything about and learning. That was very true when I went to West Africa. I love the challenge of getting a new textbook when I'm going to college, and frankly, sometimes even when I'm not. Like I do like thermodynamics, and I really like nuclear fission and fusion. So I will read books that have nothing to do with anything about my real life, but I love to use my mind and I like to learn new things. I love to read. I just read and read and read because it's awesome to me, the ideas and the thought processes of other people. So I can understand that or look at that when I read. I really like it. I love the way that God thinks. And He and I will sit down and talk, and I really meditate on something for a while. And it's part of how I gain understanding or wisdom about things by some of those conversations that He and I have together in real quiet places. I love nature, so I'll go out there and look at the beauty of the earth. My point is this: even with the challenges, even with the difficulties, even with the frustrating parts, there is something to love, and you have to find it, and you need to look for it as much as possible. Your perspective is entirely up to you. If what's coming out of your mouth all the time is, I hate my life, I hate my job, I can't stand my spouse, I don't like my kids, I hate my house, I hate my car. Wow, this is coloring your world and, very truthfully, your children's worlds every single day. And you get to choose to look at that all the time, all the time. I mean, you can be Pigpen. You can have that little cloud of dust constantly coming off of you. That's your right, I promise. But you know what? You can also take a different viewpoint. You can look for things that are beautiful. You can look for simple moments that are joyful, even in the most troubled, difficult life. I learned to do that when I lived with a spouse that was horribly abusive to me. I learned to look for the moments of beauty and the moments of meaning. It really changed the way that I saw my life. And today, I can tell you, I really love my life. Here's how that translates for you. So you have this child. I hate my school. I hate my teacher. I hate my classmates. She hates everything there is. You can say, what do you love? Maybe she doesn't know anything today, but you can keep asking her. Or you can even tell her, do you know what? I really love your brown wavy hair. Oh, Mom, it's so plain. It's just like everyone's. No, it's really beautiful. I love your brown wavy hair. I really love your brown eyes. I do. I really love your enthusiasm. Oh, you have this wild and crazy boy that's about to drive you nuts because he's so energetic. Learn to love his energy, love his enthusiasm. Let him know. Oh, I love your enthusiasm for life. I love your energy. I love your creativity. I love your activity. I love this about you. The more you can love about your child and teach him or her to love the things around them in their space, the more they will learn to love their life. I want to ask you this really simple question. Do you want to love your life or hate it? Do you want your child to love her life or hate it? That's actually got a lot to do with you. You can choose to love the great parts of your life and put more in it that is really meaningful and important to you so you can love your life. And you can choose to hate your life. You can have a perfectly good car and a pretty nice home and a decent enough spouse and still hate your life. You can do that. I'm looking at you right now saying to you, you can do that. I'm not exactly sure why you would want to, but you can. And you can teach that to your child. You can bring that out of your child. You definitely can. And you can love your life. And you can teach your child to love her life. So I want to invite you today. Love your life. Teach your child to love her life and put more and more and more into the life that you have together so that both of you can live a life that you just love. Thank you so much for joining me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.